All right, so before we get into the charts, I want to go over all the news that's coming out this week. First, and these are all for the US dollar, okay? So Wednesday, December 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern, we have the CB Consumer Confidence coming out. So consumer confidence is a measure of how people feel about the economy in the United States. It's based on a survey of what people think about things like jobs and their own personal finances. When people feel good about the economy, they're more likely to spend money, which helps the economy grow. When people don't feel good about the economy, they might not spend as much money, which can slow down the economy. So based off the data that's going to be coming out Wednesday, December 21st, if the consumer confidence is higher than forecast, it may make the US dollar more valuable. If the consumer confidence is lower than forecast, it may make the US dollar less valuable. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean by forecast right now. It's going to be on forexfactory.com, and let me show you. So this is what I mean by forecast, and the actual is the data that's going to be coming out the day of. So based off whatever's coming out, you can always click on the folder right here, and it's going to give you a brief description of what it is and tell you if the actual is greater than forecast, if it's good for the currency or not. And based off the description, you can see like what's it about, but sometimes it's confusing, and that's why I'm here to break it down for you. So now on to the next one. On Thursday, December 22nd at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we have final GDP and unemployment claims coming out. So GDP, it's a way to measure how much money a country makes by selling things like cars, clothes, and food. Final GDP is like a final report card for a country's economy. So the final GDP, it's the most accurate and complete report of how much money the country made because it includes all of the information that is available at the end of the year. It's kind of like when you finish a school year and your teacher gives you a final grade based on all the work you did during the year. So when a country makes a lot of money, people from other countries might want to buy things from that country or invest in it. When this happens, the country's money, like the US dollar, becomes more valuable because people want it. When a country is not making as much money, people might not want to buy things from there or invest in it as much. And when this happens, the country money becomes less valuable because not as many people want it. So I just added this in there right now just to recap what we just explained. When the GDP increases, it makes the US dollar go up. When the GDP decreases, it makes the US dollar go down. Now next, that's coming out on the same day. Like I said, they're both coming out December 22nd, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's unemployment claims. So unemployment claims are a measure of the number of people who are seeking unemployment benefits because they've lost their jobs. When the number of unemployment claims increases, it can indicate that there is a weakness in the labor market and that there may be economic challenges ahead. And this could lead to a decrease in confidence in the economy and lead to a decrease in demand for the US dollar, which will cause it to depreciate against other currencies. So if unemployment claims increases, that's going to make the US dollar weaker. Now, on the other hand, if the number of unemployment claims decreases, it can indicate that the labor market is improving and that the economy is stronger. This can increase the confidence in the economy and lead to an increase in demand for the US dollar, causing its value to appreciate against other currencies. So if unemployment claims comes out lower, then that means the US dollar will get stronger. Now, Friday, December 23rd, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, comes out Core PCE Price Index. And like I said, all these news that I'm giving you are for the US dollar. So Core PCE Price Index means Core Personal Consumption Expenditures. It's a way to measure how much things cost in the US. So it's basically the measurement of inflation. It helps to show how fast prices are going up or down. So speed. The government, they look at this number to help decide how much money they should print and how much they should charge banks to borrow money. So if the core PCE goes up too fast, it might mean that there's too much money in the economy and things are starting to cost more. If this happens, the government might decide to print less money or charge banks more to borrow money to try to slow down the economy. Now, the Federal Reserve, they have an inflation target of 2% per year. And there's a variety of tools to try to maintain the price stability and keep inflation around this target. So if the rate of inflation, as measured by the PCE, the core PCE that's coming out, exceeds this target of 2%, the Fed may take action to try to reduce inflation by raising interest rates. Basically, what's been going on in the economy throughout this whole year. This is what's been happening. On the other hand, if the rate of inflation falls below the target, the Fed may take action to try to boost inflation, such as lowering interest rates. So to really sum this up of what core PCE is, it's just showing how fast prices are going up or down. And then based off that data, the Feds will decide if they're going to raise or lower interest rates. And y'all know, when interest rates are raised, it makes the US dollar stronger. And when interest rates are lowered, it makes the US dollar weaker. Now let's get into the charts for this week. So first, I want to go over the minor buy that I gave you guys last week. It was based off this structure right there. So what I had told you guys is I had this mini trend line right here off my 30-minute time frame. And actually, let me go to a clean chart so I can show you guys the movement. So this is how it looks on the clean chart. So I had my structure going from here, here, here to TP1, right? Now, the day of, none of this had happened. So we were like right here in this green zone. And this is my 1 hour zone. So as you can see, it broke, came back to retest as support, came back again, support, support. So right here, when price was at this area, I said to see if price wanted to come back up to this trend line or this purple zone and retest and then drop for another minor sell. So that would have been another baby fib. Oops, everything just came back. Here, let me go right here. So I was saying if price came to this zone that I had, and if it retested here to get in for another minor sale, but clearly it didn't happen because I said if it created a new a higher low, then we're most likely going to wait to see if we get a break and retest of this trend line. And that's exactly what it did. So we came up and we retested it, but then price came back down here and created a lower high. So that showed me that price wasn't going to keep pushing down further. So I waited and we got that break and that retest. For a minor buy, but the day that it played out, news came out. So I'll just see December 13th. That's when CPI came out, right here. December 13th, CPI, and it came out negative. You guys see that's in the red. So when CPI is in the green, that means it's good for the currency and it's going to boost the currency value. But since it came out lower, that's bad for the US dollar, which made gold stronger, and it pushed it up all the way up to my 4 hour TP. And this was 350 pips. Now let me go back to my other chart that's marked up. Let me take off replay mode because I want to show y'all the higher time frame. And y'all know we've been going over this higher time frame for a minute. I've been showing y'all like this was what I've been looking for. And price came all the way and like boom, right there, hit TP1, -27. So beautiful. That was a 4-hour TP. And like I said, I had divergence, but I wanted this to finish playing out before I started seeing a reversal of structure. And now I believe we're right at that point. So now I'm going to dive into what I'm seeing for this week. So I want to point out that we also hit TP2 on my daily fib, which is point A, point B, pull back to TP2. And y'all know TP2 on the higher time frame means a reversal, which is going to be a change in structure. Now it's just about knowing when that's going to happen. So looking right now off this higher time frame, I just drew this trend line right here, this blue trend line. Let me put from 2 points. So this is my first point and my second point. And y'all can see that price has been, is so far respecting it, so it's majority buys right now. Until price breaks this trend line and breaks those lows, we're still going to be in an uptrend until that happens. But once that happens, we'll be in a downtrend. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, I have this green trend line right here. So I have multiple points. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, we just broke this trend line right now. So where price is, I want to see if price is going to, it kind of already retested. Let me go to a smaller time frame. It did retest a little bit, but price is still pushing up. So I want to see if price is going to come back to this trend line. Let me set my alarm. I want to see if price is going to come back to this trend line and retest it. If it retests it, then I would take it for a sell to this blue trend line. That'll be about 115 pips. And then I'll wait to see if price is going, and that's the right now money. So if price retests this green trend line, take it to this blue trend. Oh, sorry. If price retests this green trend line, take it down to this blue trend line. And based off what it does off this blue trend line, if it does retest, then you can definitely get in for a buy. And then I'll get some other confirmations first to see where price is going. But based off this structure right here, point A, point B, pull back. Price created, get rid of that, take this off auto. Price created a new low. So we have this low created right here. Let me make this a little bit more thicker so you guys can see that right there. So price broke and created a new low, but this was based off our minor structure right here. So I want to see if price is going to retest that, come back to that blue trend line, or price can also, delete this box. We can put a little, yeah, because this is a 1 hour. And like, as you can see at this zone, price has been respecting this. So we get a lot of support in this area. So you have support here. Oops, what is support? Support. So what I want to see is if price is going to retest this and come to this blue trend line. And then I want to see what it does after it gets to this blue trend line. I want to see if it retests it again and pushes up, because as you can see, based off the 4 hour TP1, price didn't go all the way to it, but it went close enough. Like, it's literally just went like Yeah, like it barely was even, it barely touched it. So I want to see if price is going to try to go back and like push a little bit past it, or if it's going to start creating that downtrend. Let's see. I actually didn't mark up my charts yet, so I'm kind of doing it right now. Yeah, so if price can come back up if price comes to retest this green trend like I just said, which will be aligned with this second green trend line that I just drew from these 2 points, 1, 2, you know, trend lines are 2 points drawn to the future, and then take it to that blue trend line. And if we get a break of that, then of course will definitely be a downtrend, and we can see this happening. It could possibly, honestly, what I would do is you can set an alert at this blue trend line, so once per minute, because if you do get in for this sell, you can see if it pushes past to break this blue trend line and take it to TP1, which is aligned with this other green zone that I have right here. You see we have resistance, broke, came back as support, and now this fib is aligned with it. So that's definitely something that you can do as well. So structure will be point A, lock it. Point B, if it retests these 2 green trend lines right here, and it'll be hitting 38.2 on the fib, which means that it's going to go to TP1 fast. So there ain't no going to be high lows, lower highs, none of that. It's just going to go boom, straight there. So I can see that happening. That would be my main analysis, yes. So I would be looking for a sell right here, and if it breaks past this blue trend line, like I said, take it down right here to TP1 at 1762. That'll be 300 pips on gold. And now, you know, I like to give y'all both sides. So like I said, if that doesn't happen, what I would do is, if there is a retest, to play it safe, you can take profit at this blue zone, but like I said, you can also just set an alarm to go off once per minute just to see if you see bearish momentum happening. And if you see bearish momentum and it breaks through, it doesn't do a retest, then you can take it to TP1. Now, if it comes here and it gives a retest, then you're going to look for minor buys. Now, if we're looking for some buys, this is what I'll be looking for. Minor buys will be a fib like this, starting from here, and then taking it up to that red zone. So it'll be point A. No, sorry. Point A, point B, and then take it up to TP1 if it retests. And this will be your minor structure. That'll be 140 pips. Because you want to be able to adapt to the market, because we can have our analysis and then, you know, the market just start doing something else. So you want to be able to adapt to it. Don't get stuck on whatever you think the market is supposed to do, okay? Because it's going to do what it's going to do, and all you can do is just move with it. Don't move against it. Also, on my divergence, I don't really have any signs showing me that price is going to be changing. Like, based off right here, you see that the RSI is doing the same thing as the charts. It has the lower high, structure is the same. So it looks like it's going in the right direction. So now let's move on to the next pair. We're going to look at GU. So off the rip from GU, the daily, y'all see it's at this red zone right here. And we have support, broke through a little bit, came back for resistance, resistance, resistance. And now we're sitting in that area right here again. And we're getting some bearish momentum. Now, This was a high. These were the two highs that are looking to be broken. As you can see, price broke through this high, but it never broke through this high. It's still, this high is still lower than this high. So I can still see GU coming down to TP2. But of course, this is the daily, so it takes a long time to play out. This just gives me overall like my target for if I'm going to be taking like majority buys or majority sells. Now we can see off structure, off GU, we have my little videos in the way. Point A, oops, point B, like 38.2, and it hit TP1, but then it surpassed it to hit TP2, negative 61.8. And I also have divergence, and as you can see in the blue arrow, my RSI, it was creating lower highs, but meanwhile price on the chart was creating higher highs. So that's showing me that a reversal is coming, and since it was a 4 hour, of course that takes a minute to play out. But I've been telling y'all like for the last like week or two, that's what I was seeing. We just needed to see it finish playing out, and those are multiple confirmations that go hand in hand, showing a reversal is coming, that we hit 61.8 as well as divergence. Now on the 1 hour last week, I was telling y'all how I wasn't sure off this fib, because as you can see, let me draw it out. I like to draw it off for y'all. Point A, they make it a different color. Let's make it orange. Point B, and then y'all see it's the price stopped right here at 50, but then it pushed down a little bit to 61.8. So I was like, since price did that, I was like, I don't know if it's going to just stop at TP1 or if it was going to push up to 61.8 TP2, just because I didn't know if price was going to respect the 61.8 on the fib. But that's exactly what it did. It respected, and it went all the way to TP2. Now, based off where price is right now, as you can see, we're at the green trend line right here. So I have my 2 points. One. Why is it lagging? I don't know why it's lagging. But one, okay, hold on. Fix this. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, draw into the future, right? So this is the area that we're at right now, where price is at, and we're also at this green zone. So this is where majority price has hit for resistance, broke, support, and now we're back at that area. I want to see if price is going to continue to respect this area and push up for a buy. And as you can see, where I have this orange trend line is just showing like that was the previous 1 hour low that was created. And I know that's a 1 hour because based off my zone, I have it from the resistance, broke, and came back to test as support. So this gave me my overall push for the second trend that was inside this other trend. So the second trend was like here, like that. So it's point A, point B, pull back to TP1. So that was another move off my 1 hour. So based off that low, we can see that if price is going to respect this, if it comes down to this trend line or just this area in general and makes a new low, like it continues to respect this area, we can look for potential buys to this green zone that was broken right there. And this will be like a minor buy. So what you would do is go down to the lower time frame. Let me take this off. So on the 30-minute, we can see if price does this. So it'll be a minor buy. Oops. Point A, point B, pull back, and then go up to TP2 to this zone. That'll be 134 pips. Now I see that, and then we also have divergence. So as you can see right here on my divergence, we have higher lows being created. So they have this low right here. This is the first low, which is right here on the chart. This is the second one right here. This is the third one right here. But as you can see on the chart, like this low is higher than this low, but on the chart it's the opposite. On the chart, on the RSI, it's the opposite. This low is lower than this low. So that shows me, like, on the minor time frame, not like the major time frame, that we can be seeing buys coming in, just like how I just played this out right now. If we get a retest of this green trend line, or honestly, what you can also do is just wait for another low to be created, honestly. A higher low. So price will be looking like going up like that. Yeah, so if it retests here or the green trend line, definitely get in for a minor buy and then put your stop loss right here at this previous low. And if you get in right there, get it for 130 pips. Now for the second scenario, if this doesn't happen, if this doesn't play out like that, let me delete it. What you can look for is just if price just happens to like go the opposite way, look for a break of this green trend line. And this is my red daily trend line, so that's like heavy. So here's my daily right here. Let's make it a little bit bold. So if price breaks that trend line, y'all know like we for sure in a downtrend, but until that it's majority buys. But on the lower time frame, if price happens to, I mean, I don't really see that happening right now. I do see price coming back up to retest this green zone. But if it just happens to come down to this red trend line, what I would do, I would just have to look for like a break and a retest to enter if it was to continue. So if it pushed past this green trend line, came down here to this red, I will see if it breaks it or retest it and just do more minor moves, if that makes sense. So if price happens to come out here, take it down to the red trend line, but don't go past the red trend line. You don't want to go past the red trend line unless it's a break and a retest that happen. But overall, like, I do see a minor buy happening. Now, if you have any questions, just feel free, drop a comment, and I'll get back to you.